This is the cheapest therapy session you will ever have. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a mental health expert, but then I'll give you one simple cheat code, which is basically, but before I tell you, I would like to give you a simple story. I'll share a short story for you where you can relate better. If you could remember when we were younger, we used to have a diary. Even we as guys, it's not even a girl thing. We used to have diary where we would write things that happened, maybe a spectacular event or an important thing that happened in our life. We usually have a diary where we write it. Okay, yesterday so and so happened. I didn't feel nice about it. This is what happened. I started my first business yesterday. I made my first million yesterday. We would usually have a diary where we write the event of things and the way they happen, as well as the date when it happened. But unknowingly, we didn't know we were actually doing a very important practice called journaling. Then we didn't see it as journaling, or maybe we saw it as journaling, but we didn't even know the effect. We don't know what journaling means. But the moment you start writing things down for memories, or for you to process it properly, it's called journaling, which is the single best thing you can do to process your emotions. Because when you think about things that is happening, or things that's happened in the past, or things that will happen in the future, we don't tend to process it properly because our brain is a little bit confused. The thought keeps popping up in our minds, different thoughts, positive and negative. It's all clumsy. But when we write, that is when we journal, we're able to process our emotions properly. And it reinforces how we're actually feeling. For example, I feel bad about something someone said to me yesterday. Thought keeps popping up even after a week or a month. When I see that person, I feel bad about the person. I have a negative thought towards the person. That's simply because I've not processed the emotions properly. But the moment I start picking up a book and I write, I journal, this is what this person did that I do not like. But then, it's all on them. It's about them. It's not about me. The way I feel about this doesn't make me a bad person. It only makes that person a more negative person to deal with. Me writing how I feel means I'm pouring out my mind. Sometimes it's good to talk to people, share your mind with people, but not all the time. Sometimes you don't even have anybody to vent to. You don't have anybody to share how you feel with. That is why you have a journal where you can actually write, this is how I'm feeling. This is what this person said to me. And it's on them. It's not about me. It's about who they are. This person treated me badly. Well, it's not about me. It's about who they are. You see, writing these thoughts makes you even process them properly without being emotional about it. Because when you do not journal, when you do not write how you feel, how then do you process your thoughts? You got an idea. You are not even writing it. You forget it. Something happened that you want to really address. You're not even writing it. And how do you process it? Then the feeling and the thought linger on onto the future. And that's what leads to trauma. Trauma is not even a scientific word. It's more about unprocessed emotions. Trauma is unprocessed feelings, unprocessed state of mind that you brought from the past into the future. That's what trauma is. People make trauma sound so vague that they coin out different meanings for trauma. Trauma is just unprocessed feelings, unprocessed thoughts, unprocessed emotions. And how do you process your thoughts and emotions? There's no two way to it. It's just about journaling. Writing down how you feel. Write out the way to go about it. Write out what you think you can do to make it better. And that's journaling. Journaling is just pouring out your mind, pouring out your thoughts in written format for memorable purposes, for you to process them properly, and for you to have a better emotion, for you to feel the emotions better, and then to move forward without lingering onto the thoughts. This actionable step for you now is that thing that's been bothering, that thing that you've not processed properly, that emotions that you are unable to get over. The moment you start writing it, you see that you're pouring out your mind, and then you have a easy way out of that problem. Just try it. Maybe you are facing lack of friendship, you are lonely, you are bored, someone said something to you yesterday, someone said something to you in the past that you've not processed, something happened to you when you were younger, and you could still remember up to today because you carried forward the trauma. Just start writing, journal more, start writing how you feel, start processing it. This is only a thought. It's not even me. This feeling I'm feeling right now is in the past. It doesn't even affect my future. It doesn't even affect my progress as a human being. So the more you write, the more you journal, the more you are pouring out your thoughts. Without judgment, just write. Process your emotions, process your thoughts, process your feelings in a written format. You get new ideas, you get more creative, and then you're able to process your thoughts emotionally, or process your thoughts properly, rather. You might not even need therapy. You might not need a mental health session. This might just be the best kind of therapy you will need for yourself, which is journaling. It's as easy as that. Just get a simple journal like what I have here. Start writing how you feel about that thing that is bothering you. Without judgment, mindfully, consciously, and presently. Just write to process your emotions, how you are feeling. Write it down. Process your thoughts, process your feelings properly, without any form of judgment, without any form of negative feelings and emotions. Just pour out your mind in written format. There you get creative, and you see that these things that you are feeling is not even you. It's just a mere emotion. It's just a mere thought. It's just a mere feeling. But if you keep it there in your head, there's likelihood that you have to feel that that feeling or that thought or emotion is you. But when you write it, you are the seat of consciousness, observing that feeling and pouring it out in written format. Then you see that that thought, that feeling, that emotion is not you. It's only another entity. It's only another identity that has been put onto you by your thoughts. So the more you journal, the more you write, the more you can process your emotions and see that that feeling and thought is not you. It's only a thought and a feeling. And that's the only way you can process your emotions. That's the only way you can be less depressed, less anxious, less lonely. And you have little to no compulsive thoughts, because those feelings and thoughts are not in your mind anymore. It's now in written format. So the more you journal, the more you process your thoughts and emotions. And that is the way out of trauma. You do not even need another mental health therapy session, but you need to journal more. And that is the way to go. Journal today and see how better you feel at processing your thoughts and emotions. And come back here and give me feedback, whether the journaling works for you or not. Remember, journaling is your emotions being poured out in written format so that you can process them properly, so that you can actually separate yourself from that feeling. That feeling, that thought, that emotion is not you. It's just a separate thing away from your mind. And the more you write, the more you can separate yourself from that feeling and emotions. And that is how you can process your thoughts and emotions to get away from trauma, depression, anxiety, compulsive thoughts, compulsive feelings, and all of that. Journaling is the way to process your emotions. I repeat, journaling is the way to properly process your emotions. And journaling is simply getting a pen, a book, a jotter, a diary, a journal, a piece of paper, writing how you feel, pouring it out, getting creative ideas. The more you write, the more you become more creative, and the more you can process your thoughts and feelings properly. And that is what we teach here. And I'll see you in the next one.